This is Talkin Hoopz, the show that discusses real NBA stories, gives you all the latest rumors, and gets you into heated debates.
It's dunks and layups. How many of his points have been jump shots? 0.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
0.
It's not happening. Not in this NBA. Maybe in the fantasy NBA that they're playing in, but not in this NBA.
We're going to challenge each other in practice.
We talking about practice, not a game.
Once the game starts, I mean, it's going to be easy.
You better get off whatever you're smoking.
Strap in, get your popcorn, put your headphones on.
This is Talkin Hoopz.
It's really good to checking out Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz, the official talk show of NBA Full Man.
Talkin Hoopz starts right now.
Talkin Hoopz. TalkinHoops.com. AJ, Kyle, Mark Strickland with you for the show, as always. Lot going on in the world of basketball, guys. A lot of stuff happening. We got a great show for you. Former assistant coach and player Anthony Goldwire will be joining us in a second. We got a Kobe Bryant update. The Nets and Knicks rivalry heating up. Really heating up. Dwight Howard, will he play power forward next season? And we'll talk a little bit more about free agency. But guys, getting right into the show. How's everybody doing? How's it going?
Good.
Everything is good, man. Everything is everything. Everything is good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
It's always good when everyone's
happy.
happy. Always
Yeah.
a good thing. Always a good thing.
Yeah, it helps.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, standing on the line with us right now, as I said before, former assistant coach and player Anthony Goldwire. Anthony, welcome to Talkin Hoopz, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
All right. And now, what are you up to, man? I mean, obviously, you just coached the Milwaukee Bucks as an assistant last season. What's next for you now? Where are you headed?
Right now, I'm on vacation right now. I'm back in beautiful sunny South Florida, man, visiting my parents and everything. And, just trying to get back in. It's a tough grind. Everybody's trying to get in right now, but, it's something you got to be patient with. And if you love it, that's what happens. You just be patient and wait for it.
All right.
You hear a lot about players, that are free agents. They're all trying to get signed, but at the same time, there's a pool of coaches out there that are also looking to catch on with a team and help develop a team that nobody really even thinks about. Coaches in that regard. So last season you were with the Bucks. The expectations were really high. I mean, Monta Ellis, Brandon Jennings paired in the backcourt. Everybody thought that was going to be big things in Milwaukee. It didn't turn out like that. What were some of the problems that really stood in the way of the Bucks having more success?
You can point the finger at a lot of different issues, but I just think, the organization as a whole wasn't on the same page. The general manager, from the coaching staff all the way down to the player, we was all on different pages. Myself, as being a part of the staff, we wanted to play a certain style of play with the type of guards and the type of players we had. But, unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. We made it the first round. We got swept by Miami. But I thought we could have had a better season and kind of finished off maybe at the fifth or sixth spot. But, it didn't happen. So I think if the organization is ran well from the top and everybody's on the same page, and the structure is coming from, starting from the owner, the GM, and everything else, it kind of trickles down. So, I don't want to say it was a dysfunctional team, but everybody went on the same page. The coaching staff was here, the players was there, and the management was another place. So hopefully they can get that, turned around, and, Larry Drew should be able to do a better job or whatever, but it has to start from up top.
Okay. What, me and you played in the league, Goldie, as teammates and played in the league, man, against each other. What do you think the difference in the league now is than it was when we played?
Oh, man. Got too many. Let me see. Got a lot of prima donnas in the league now. When I play, you could cut.
I feel you, man.
You could touch. You could play aggressive. Guys didn't worry about fighting. Now guys want to be Hollywood now. Everybody they want the limelight. You don't really find those blue collar type players no more. Myself and yourself, we blue collar type players. We go out and just get it done. You know, and just, you know, the money's gonna come when you play hard and you get wins or whatever. But you know, guys now they don't play for the love of the game no more. I just think.
So it's more about winning Academy Awards than it is winning an MVP award.
Yeah, you could say. I mean, you know, everybody want to make it easy for themselves. You know, they loading up all the different teams and all that, trying to make it easy, which is, you know, I guess it's good for media and for the TV hype. But you know, why not have the whole league kind of spread out or whatever, where everybody just got to grind for it. So, but I mean, that's what it's about now. It's Hollywood now. It's turned into a TV show.
Right. Yeah. And now, talk about a guy that does a lot of dirty work for the Bucks last season and hopefully this coming season, Larry Sanders. News broke today. He's come to a 4-year agreement with the Bucks. You coached him last season. Could this guy be an all-star in this league? Is the potential there? What do you see in Larry Sanders?
Oh, great upside because he's long, athletic. I think he was first or second in block shots last year. He really can run the floor. Just have to develop a little bit more on his offensive moves. But, yes, he definitely can be an all-star because you got to look in the East at the center position. He really changes the game. He changed the game for us a lot last year. I mean, outside of his little, you know, I guess every player, most of the players in the league go through their little growing pains or whatever. And his thing last year was, you know, getting technical fouls. If he could stay out of trouble like that, and they can kind of corral him and keep his mind focused on basketball, I think he'll be great for the Bucks this year. Well, as of right now, he's the leader of the Bucks now because all the guys left. I mean, Monte left for Dallas. Brandon's gone for the Detroit. J.J. Redick went with the Clippers. So I mean, he's the main guy over there now. So he has to lead that team now.
Yeah. Do you think they got any pieces to make it to the playoffs this year? Do you still see them in the top 8, or you see them falling off?
Well, it's going to be difficult because Washington's better now. They're full. You know, John Wall, he has something to prove now. Indiana's got stronger. You know, Brooklyn's always going to be there now. Chicago, with the help of Derrick Rose, is going to be back. So it's going to be tough for them. I mean, right now, I mean, they solid in the backcourt, but I think they're going to need a lot more. It depends on the type of job Larry Drew does with those guys and kind of get them to buy into the system. He has some weapons over there, but it all depends on if they can kind of overachieve or whatever. But I mean, it's going to be a tough season for him.
Okay. Was Larry Sanders a vocal leader in that locker room? Because now you mentioned, you know, he's going to have to step up. There were some reports last season that he and Monta Ellis got into some locker room, you know, debates, locker room arguments during the Miami series. Is he a vocal leader? You know, were there issues that he sort of tried to take care of last year when he saw problems arise?
I mean, when you be a leader, you got to be accountable for things. So you got to be able to take criticism also. I mean, you can give it, but you're not able to take it. So that kind of that doesn't work. So, and also in the NBA, you can't turn it on and turn it off. It's either going to be one way or the other. So meaning, you're going to come in every night and play hard. Guys will respect you for that, whether you win or lose. If you go out and give 100% every night, I mean, that's what guys want to, that's what other guys, your peers, your teammates, and coaches would like to see. Then you have the voice to speak. Last year and the year before that, you know, Larry didn't come to play every night. Some nights he took off. So, you know, some guys feel like he didn't have a right to speak. And now once you get in the playoffs, now you feel like you want to talk and this and that. So, that was a little gripe on that. You know, Monte's been carrying us the whole year. He played the whole season, you know, kind of ended, but didn't whine or complain. He just played through everything. So, you know, it's a little male ego going on there or whatever, but Monte is one of the captains, and he leads by example. Dunleavy was the other captain. He's more of a vocal leader or whatever, but, I mean, this year Larry has a big burden now. Yeah, he has a lot. He has to continue what he started last year in the playoffs and start over now. Now, at this point, going into September, going into they play, you know, coming up and they pick up games and everything. He has to be their leader to get those guys going. But in order for the team to respect him, he has to do that every single day in practice and at night. Every night going into the games. Even when they win and lose, even the games he have a bad game, he has to do that. So it's going to be a tough burden on him.
Yeah. Talking about respect, man, do you think that the players are taking the lead over teams now, man? Because back in the day when we played, you know, like I played for Pat Riley, you know, he was like the the mega of basketball. He was like, whatever, it was his way or the highway. I think now,
Players league.
I'm
You ain't got to say no more. You ain't finished that question.
Do you think it's a
players
difference?
league?
You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Players taking over the league now.
If you get 2 or 3 more players that don't like you, the coach is fired. It's automatic.
Wow.
That's what it's about now. I seen it. Unfortunately, my first stint in the NBA was with the Bucks. I spent 3 years with them. Scal did an incredible job of we had pure talent over there, but it's just you can't put a bunch of guys a bunch of knuckleheads rather. We had a bunch of knuckleheads, and when you get a bunch of knuckleheads, they always looking. The boat was always kind of rattling and kind of about to tip over. And once he kind of left, it flipped over all the way up. We had a hole in the bottom. It just started sinking.
Right.
So if you don't have any structure, if you don't come in the door like the San Antonios, the Oklahoma City, the Miamis, you don't come in the door, or if you don't have that leader, that already lets you know, like LeBron, they just follow him. And who wants to mess that up? Nobody. Who wants to mess what Tim Duncan has or Tony Parker has? Who wants to mess up what Kevin Durant has? So, nobody wants. So the guy, but they do a good job of picking their guys to come over there to be in their organization. And everybody else, they just got to go fit in. So guys now, teams are trying to get better, but the most part in the league, it's a bunch of knuckleheads, man. They just want to make the money, show off for the TV camera, and that's it. Go party all night and do whatever. Nobody plays for the love of the game no more. I mean, if you get the accolades, so what? But I mean, that's just my personal feeling. Just whatever it is. I mean, I just think it's a players' league, but there's no more respect for the coaches now.
Now, could this be the reason why the Bucks decided to pretty much just completely come back with a new roster? I mean, Monte Ellis is gone, Brandon Jennings is gone. Those are 2 key players from last season. Now going with O.J. Mayo, bringing in Luke Ridnour from the Timberwolves. I mean, what do you think? You think that attitude, the way the guys are getting along, what happened with Scott Skiles, do you think that all ties into the reason the Bucks decided to go in the direction they went in?
Well, first of all, Skiles, they didn't fire him. He left. He walked away.
Right.
He wanted out. He wanted out because of the situation. There was nothing being done with the knucklehead players we had. We couldn't control them. I mean, every coach has their limits. I mean, there was no way he was going to be able to finish the year without, having confrontation with some of the players. But most of the players who left, they didn't want to be there. Monte didn't want to be there. Brandon didn't want to be there. He talked about it for a year and a half about not wanting to be there. Yeah. They offered him 4 for $40 October 31st last year, and he didn't take it. He wanted more. So, I mean, J.J. Redick didn't want to be there. So, guys, they didn't want to be in the organization for whatever reason. I don't know what their personal feelings were, but they felt like they can go to there's a better situation because the organization wasn't ran right. Now, I don't know. Senator Cole, those guys provided for me and my family. I don't have anything against those guys, John Hammond, but obviously the guys, they figure that they need to run the organization a little better, have more control of the organization, and they didn't do it, so the guys didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's, that sounds like a culture thing, and I guess you got to break down before you build up again, so blowing up and starting over is probably the only choice that they had. I mean, when you
they had to. They wasn't. I mean, you can't go in the situation what happened with Brandon this summer with trying to sign Jeff Teague to an offer sheet. That would have been a touchy situation trying to bring him back and try to make him think that he was going to be the player to get 100% Brandon Jennings because he wasn't going to go for that. So he already know now you tried to get rid of him and get him from around there. So that was the next best thing to get him out of there anyway. And Monte, he wasn't. If he didn't feel like he had a chance to get to the second round or third, or maybe to the Eastern Conference, finals or whatever, he didn't want to be there. And then he didn't like the makeup of the team, and he didn't feel like the team had gotten better, so he didn't want to go there back anyway. And JJ was just totally against it from the beginning.
Wow, interesting. Well, we were talking about earlier about the Eastern Conference if we think the Bucks can make it, and this has kind of been like an ongoing thing with us with the Eastern Conference and how it's going to shuffle out. Besides the top powers, Miami, New York, Indiana, Washington, as you mentioned, really got better. Detroit, in my opinion, is probably the team that improved the most over the offseason. They got a ton of talent. But where I'm going with this is that I think that Greg Monroe, Josh Smith, and Andre Drummond will all end up starting, and you got 3 guys who can kind of all play the same position. Do you see this league transitioning into a positionless league. I mean, you got LeBron playing 1 through 5. You got all these guys playing out of position at the same time. It's kind of a little uncharacteristic when you think of how it used to be. Is that the way the league is going? It's like you're not defined by you're a shooting guard, this is what you do. You're a small forward, this is what you got to do. Do you see that at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting more that way. But, back when Allen Iverson, he changed the league from being an undersized 2-guard. He changed the league back then. And now they just kind of, LeBron and Durant and Melo, them kind of just piggybacked and went to a bigger guard. LeBron took it to a whole nother level by being, he can average a triple-double if he wants to, because he's, at 6'8" can pass and run like a guard and everything. So the league is definitely transitioning to like an any position type player. They just putting you out there. If you can kind of create an advantage for your team to win ball games and have a mixed match problem against your opponent, then you're going to get a chance to play. It's all about trying to jockey for position, trying to make the other team play the way you like them to play. Play the way your style of basketball is. So, of course, you're going to go with a big lineup. Now you got LeBron running the 1, so you can sit Chalmers and Coles down. Now you got LeBron running the 1, Wade at the 2. Come on, Ray Allen, you may go big underneath. So you got, Oden and you got Bosh. So that's an incredible lineup, man. Or even the lineup you got over there.
How did you guys game plan
Brooklyn.
for the Heat for the playoffs? Now, were you planning on,
was that?
Let's take out Wade, let's take out Bosh? How did you guys approach that series?
That was tough. See, we felt they was kind of a little lazy on defense. They kind of turned it up a little whenever they wanted to. We felt our thing with Skiles, we was a grinded out type team. When we with him, we was kind of stingy on defense. We kind of loaded up. We had a couple guys that can kind of match up, not kind of stop him, but kind of match up with LeBron a little bit. We had Luke Bamute, and those guys can really bother him. And with our type of defensive scheme, we can kind of bother him a little bit. We don't want to stop him, but we can bother him. Skiles had a pretty good plan. Actually, we beat him 2 years ago twice out of 3 times, and last year we beat him once. And had him again, but Monte missed a shot to win the game, and we lost in overtime to him. So, right. And then in the playoffs, they gave us 2 games at home that we didn't even take advantage of. Wade didn't play 1, and we was up by 10 in one of the others. They didn't even really want to play, so they was kind of cruising. So we kind of matched up with them pretty well, but we just wanted to kind of make it tough on LeBron, just kind of keep him, body him a little bit more, kind of get him off kilter a little bit, but difficult task to stop, man. And in transition, they wanted, if not the best team in transition, and Bosh just kind of run him off the spot of Jays or whatever, and just kind of we knew those 3 guys were going to do that, just kind of keep Battier and Chalmers and Cole, and the Birdman kind of hurt us this year. He hurt us a lot. Coming in with the energy, him and Cole, they really changed the game for them this year. So, what more can I say? And they want him to win the championship. But like I said, if the last part of the season, man, once Skiles left, it was down here. Our last 50 game, we were just trying to piece it together. We kind of earned ourselves a good cushion. But me personally and a couple of other coaches thought, man, we had at least 10 more games in the season. We probably wouldn't have made the playoffs because it was going downhill going into the playoffs. So. Right. We didn't have a good vibe, a good feel going in, but hey, we made it. We just figured the guys would kind of rally and just say, let's just relish the moment or cherish the moment. We're playing against the #1 team in the NBA. Let's try to put something together, and it backfired on us, but chance to get in the playoffs or whatever. So it was cool.
You did the best with what you had.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Do you think the defensive element of the game is changing? Because you got to look at the finals. Indiana gave the Heat a couple of games. Then you got every series they were giving games. Even in the finals, the game 6, that game was given to Miami. San Antonio gave it to Miami. So do you think the defensive element is changing? Because what I'm looking at is a lot of teams are following that Miami Heat element. Big threes, no center.
It's not more of a defensive game now.
It's
more of an offensive. It's an offensive thing. It's an offensive game now. The league is changing to people want to see a lot of dunks and highlights and everything. They want guys to run up and shoot threes and get out of transition and throw lobs and the and one stuff and the between the legs, behind the back. They don't really reward people for good defensive play now. Then you see teams trying to turn it up in the playoffs and all that. Then it still get even. I mean, there's more points when it scores. Look at the Denver and Golden State series. Look at every time Golden State played. It wasn't no, they played hard, but it wasn't like the old Knicks and the old Heat back in the day.
Nah.
Or Indiana, New York. It wasn't nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Where the score was in 75-65, and it's a grind out every possession. They about to go to blows, flip the cup. It wasn't like that. But the league is changing.
The only player Goldie that plays like that is Noah. Joakim Noah. He the only player that plays like that.
He did it in the Brooklyn series. He showed up. He did it.
Yeah.
He's still one of the tough nose guys left. One of them.
All right.
Yeah, I take him. I take y'all guys down there. I take Haslam. I take him. He'll be a blue collar guy.
Piece also plays like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anthony Goldwire, former Bucks coach and former player. Awesome having you on the show. Look forward to having you on again. And, hey, enjoy that Miami weather, man. And, good luck going forward with everything.
I will appreciate you guys for having me, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Looking forward to being again with you guys. And, man, y'all have a blessed day.
All right.
You too, man. Call me, man. Call me. We'll do lunch or something.
All right, straight, no doubt. Keep me posted.
All right down the street. All right, later. Appreciate it, Goldie.
All right. Great. Look, he was a solid player when he played in the NBA. He did a solid job as an assistant coach. Bucks are in the playoffs. To me, your team makes the playoffs. That's pretty damn good. I don't know what you guys think, but that's pretty damn good in my eyes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that team, it's good to hear him say that the whole franchise wasn't on the same page, because just from on the outside looking in, you could tell they weren't on the same page.
You see it.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it through the TV screen. You don't got to be it, and it's like, and it just gives some validity to that now.
Yeah.
And it's like, these guys, they didn't want to be there. A lot of them openly said they didn't want to be there. I mean, Monta Ellis turns down $11 million to leave.
Yeah.
You got a problem when you're giving somebody $11 million and they're like, nah, I'll pass.
I mean, there's been similar issues, I think, with Ellis, especially when he was in Golden State. They wanted to trade him, comes to Milwaukee, and as you said, Anthony didn't specify any player in specific, but he did say there were a bunch of knuckleheads on the team. So guys that don't want to be there, guys that are knuckleheads, that aren't committed, I mean, that's just not healthy for a franchise. In my opinion, look, the Bucks made some interesting moves this offseason, but I think they're interesting now that we know a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes. And now I think that kind of clears up a little bit on why some of the moves were made. So,
but you know what? He said that Larry Sanders had taken off some games last season and the season prior to that.
yeah.
And then they give him a 4-year extension. So if you're trying to change the culture,
Right.
why are you going to bring back a guy who's not giving you 110% every game?
Yeah.
Look, he has a lot of value in the league. He's one of the most athletic and up-and-coming stars in the league. You can trade him and get a lot of value back if you're going to rebuild. But no, they give him an extension. Who's to say? Now he's got $44 million over the next 4 years with that extension. Who's to say, what is he playing for then?
Right.
Who's to say he doesn't take off more games? And if you're trying to change the culture, that's not the way to do it.
Mark, did you ever have a situation like that where a guy just, he kind of didn't show like he cared on the court, like he wasn't happy in the situation?
Usually in those situations, Pat Riley would jump in and that player would get cut, or he would get released, or he would get traded. We had the same similar situation with Todd Day when he was on the team. He got released. We had the same similar situation. The only trade situation I could think of is Ike Austin.
So it goes back to management. It goes back to management and ownership, and it's their team. If there's a problem, they got to take care of it. This can't keep happening. You can't have a cancer on the team in that regard.
Yeah, you can't have too many knuckleheads, or you're definitely gonna lose the locker room.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? If you're the coach, like you said, Pat Riley would cut him or bet. You got to do that. I don't care how Larry Sanders is. If you see him taking off a game or whatever, taking off some plays, you got to sit him. So
Right.
what? You take some flack in the media. You got to show some authority there.
Right.
Because you're the coach. You don't
Well-
want to call shots. What
well,
are you
let
doing
me-
on the sideline if you're not calling the shots?
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think maybe the reason they kept Larry Sanders has to do with Larry Drew. You think Larry Drew needed somebody to work with. I mean, you get rid of Larry Sanders, who's left on that team now, realistically?
O.J. Mayo.
Right, but okay, and that's it. It's Larry Sanders and O.J. Mayo at the end of the day. Those are the two big guys on that team right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're committed to Larry Sanders. I guess it is hard to come by a big guy that could do what he does in the league. There's not too many of them out there. You know, I understand. I think maybe he's just a valuable asset. You know, guys are babied these days. Anthony said it before. You know, it's a lot of prima donnas. There's a lot of stuff guys put up with. You know,
at least Larry Drew is familiar with the situation. He had Josh Smith. He had a bad attitude.
Yeah.
So
It's not something he's not used to, that's for sure.
yeah, you know what I mean? So it'll be kind of like, you know, somebody that can kind of guide the young fella in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I don't know. The Bucks, man, they got a lot of questions. They got more questions than answers. They're not going to make the playoffs, and it doesn't sound like anybody knows what they're doing over there. So good luck to Milwaukee. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
All
right, guys. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Kobe Bryant update, and J.R. Smith riding around in a ridiculous car, supposedly. New York Post had some stuff on that. We got it all for you when we come back. Talkin Hoops, talkinhoops.com, NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com. Check them out.
Don't foul out. Talkin Hoops will be right back. I'm Mark Sanchez with a message for women. This is the actual sound of my heartbeat. I'm sharing my heart to let you know that the symptoms of women's heart attacks can be different from men's. Please learn more. All it takes is a few minutes of your time in return for years of healthy life. That's a deal even my agent couldn't negotiate. Cover your heart. Learn more. CVS Cares.
The new free CBS radio app streams your favorite CBS radio stations, as well as all your favorite AOL and Yahoo Music stations directly to your iPhone, iPod Touch, and BlackBerry Bold. With 30 genres of professionally programmed stations at your fingertips, you can hear whatever you want, whenever you want. Stations like K-Rock, 1010 Wins, WFAN, AMP, and over 600 others. Now you can easily take your favorite stations with you on the go. The CBS radio app is everything you wanted from streaming radio and a whole lot more. Go to cbsradio.com/mobile to download your app today.
This is AJ, and you're checking out Talkin Hoops, where you can hear the true legends of basketball. If you missed any of the action from today's show, you can find the full episode on talkinhoops.com or youtube.com/talkinhoops. And don't forget to follow @Talkin Hoops on Twitter and give us a like on Facebook for all the latest around the league.
This week's episode, Bobcat in the Cave.
Gosh, Johnny, playing in the cave sure is neat. Oh boy, a kitty cat. Sassy, the kitty cat's yelling. What, Sassy? It's not a kitty, it's a bobcat? Speaking of cats, you'd like to stress the importance of adopting cats from animal shelters? Over 5 million cats go into animal shelters every year? Healthy cats to choose from. It's a shame more people don't adopt from shelters. This bobcat's heavy. Help, Sassy! Why bother? We'll just get into more trouble tomorrow? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nuts.
Sassy is brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org. Remember, adopt.
My dream is to become a mechanical engineer.
My dream is to be a ballerina.
My dream is to be a veterinarian.
I want to be a chef, truck driver, a teacher,
a shoe designer,
professional skateboarder.
But right now,
I'm just a kid.
Just a kid.
I'm just a kid.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted.
Ready to be adopted.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted. For the facts about adopting a child from foster care, contact the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
Hey guys, this is AJ. Want to talk more hoops? The greatest show is overtime. Check out talkinhoops.com. Catch ya on the rebound.
Welcome back to Talkin Hoops.
About 15 players in the team. 14 get along.
Now here's a guy who likes to dunk on an 8.5-foot ring. Take it away, AJ.
And we are back. Talkin Hoops, talkinhoops.com. AJ, Kyle, former NBA player Mark Strickland hanging with us, NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com. We just had Anthony Goldwire before the break, and just a lot of fun with him, gave us a lot of great info and just a lot of good stuff. But there's other stuff going on in basketball, and one thing that's been pretty big, a big story right now, is J.R. Smith's new ride. J.R. Smith's new car, supposedly. So, what is your thoughts, Kyle, on this car? What do you think?
Before we get into the car, I just want to say, when you do the introductions coming back, and you say former NBA player Mark Strickland, I want current NBA 2K player Kyle. All right, that's what I want.
All right.
I want you to introduce me like that.
Listen, we got to get off 2K.
I don't
right?
want
You're
no-
not
I don't
that
want no
good.
lame
You're not that
introduction.
good at 2K for us to be talking 2K.
You can't just say my name and then be like, oh, and Mark's the former NBA. I gotta have.
Dude, look at Mark Strickland. Look at him. Look at him.
Okay.
I gotta have like a special thing. You don't have to say current 2K player. You can say like current bad boy. You can say Jordan sneaker aficionado.
We'll work on it.
Something like that. But I gotta get some more. Love.
I'll tell you what.
3 champion.
I gotta get some more love here. I gotta get that from you.
All right. I'll definitely give you some more love next time then. But this time, I want to talk about J.R. Smith's car because this thing is a tank. All right. Supposedly, the same car The Rock drove in Fast and the Furious. I mean, got $450,000 on a car.
I haven't seen it.
You're about to see it. You're about to see it.
He got that extension. I think Mountain has a photo of it. He's got that extension now.
Damn.
He signed that new contract with the Knicks. And
You
now
see
he's got
that?
money to blow. He's feeling good.
You see that
Going
car?
out to town in New York.
Look at that car. That's
He's
legit.
gonna bring it up us. There you go.
I have a question. What the hell is he doing with this
But it's
car?
in black. I think it's all black. I think that's just a model
It's
of
the
it.
model.
The one that JR has.
This is all black.
This is the model, yeah. But no, seriously, what is he doing with this car? What?
In New York. In New York at that.
What the hell do you need this car for? What do you need this car for?
Dangerous.
This is not something I'm taking to a family barbecue.
He didn't take it to. He took it to the meatpacking district, according to the Post. Hey, you gonna pick up ladies? You know, you need to impress. You need to show out.
Yeah.
That's where he showed up.
Apparently, wow, that's ridiculous.
That's baller status. That's a baller. That's literally and figuratively a baller. That's what you show up in.
I'm waiting
that's
for
how you show up. If you're a baller, that's how you do.
That's how you roll in a tank.
Hey, Kobe rolls in a helicopter. That's pretty impressive. I like the helicopter move. That's a nice move.
I like the helicopter.
I hate the helicopter. Mark, if you had your own helicopter to take you to games, tell me that wouldn't be amazing.
Sweet.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. Speaking of Kobe, got a little update for us, Kyle, on Kobe Bryant, the man, the Black Mamba.
Yeah, I mean, look. All right. So, an ordinary man, it would take a long time to come back from this, a torn Achilles, especially to get back into some type of shape, running, conditioning. But Kobe's no ordinary man. We know that. I don't care if I think he's turning 35 on Friday. Yeah. Look, it don't matter his age. It's Kobe Bryant.
Right.
He wants to just prove everybody wrong. So whatever you say about him, he's going to prove you wrong. You say he can't dunk anymore, he's going to blow by you. You're going to say he can't run because his ankle and his foot is messed up, he's going to run past you.
Yeah.
You say he can't win another ring, he's going to get another ring. So he posted a video on Twitter of him running on an anti-gravity treadmill, and that's impressive because right now the timetable is kind of up in the air. Will he be ready for opening night?
Right.
But it's encouraging to see that he's putting in work on a treadmill.
Yep. Definitely. I mean,
you have your Achilles and you do that, that's a positive sign.
It may be positive for Kobe. I don't know what the Lakers are doing, though, this year. I mean, look, we've said this 100 times. We'll say it again. You lose Dwight Howard, and your replacement is Chris Kaman. It's just, I don't know if the Lakers are, obviously, when your GM comes out, your president of basketball operations, he comes out and he says, we're going to just try and be as competitive as we can be every single game. I mean, that, to me, says it's not looking good in Lakerland. It's not looking good right now in Lakerland.
Nah, it's not going to be too good. No. Kobe will have good numbers when he comes back. I hope he takes his time and come back because there's really nothing for him to rush back for right now. Might as well just be healthy. Come back when he's fully 100%, then give it his all during the season and gear up for the following season. Because this season, he's not going to be playing for much.
Yeah.
It's pride. I think he wants to come back for pride. People, people are still questioning him. And I do agree. He shouldn't rush it because they're not going anywhere. The next season, though, they're going to have a whole bunch of cap space. I think everybody is a free agent except for, like, Steve Nash. Yeah. So they're going to have a ton of cap room.
I mean, look, the future is definitely bright in terms of cap space. But, this season, you still got to get through this season. And they're talking about Steve Nash being healthy. He just came off an injury. And already, he's not going to be the same player he was. After this injury especially, I don't think he's just going to come back and be the same player.
Not at that age.
Yeah, it's a shame that he got injured last season. I think he could have contributed last season if he was healthy, but once you deal with an injury that keeps you out for that long, to come back from that at that age, that's hard. That's too much.
And everybody got hurt, though, on the Lakers. You look at the Lakers last year, they had Dwight Howard dealing with injuries. Obviously, Kobe got hurt. Steve Nash, you mentioned, got hurt. Jody Meeks, who, they basically stole off the free agent market last season. He comes in, he gets hurt right during the playoffs. When Kobe goes down, everybody's like, all right, now Jody Meeks gets his time to shine. Then he gets hurt.
Right.
So they were dealing with injuries like the whole season throughout the whole roster. Jordan Hill, he was getting a lot of minutes. He gets hurt. D'Antoni's talking about playing 11-man deep rotation coming into the season. I don't know what 11 guys they're planning on playing because I don't think that they have enough talent to go that deep.
Right.
So the Lakers are going to be an interesting team to follow. If they get into the playoffs, they're lucky, but they probably won't.
More important for me, look, I know the headlines are Kobe. Kobe's going to come back. Kobe's he's going to play well after his injury. He's ahead of schedule. But if you ask me, I'm real curious to see Pau Gasol and how that all works out this season. This guy doesn't have Dwight Howard anymore, does have Chris Kaman, but obviously who's the better player? So, I'm curious to see the response that he gave everybody in the playoffs, how he came out and he showed that he could still pass, he could still, grab a couple rebounds, he could still score. The offense, until Kobe gets back, is going to have to run through him. And I'm curious to see if D'Antoni is going to have that happen, because I don't know why there was so many problems with him and D'Antoni last season. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Like, he's a great go-to on the block guy. That's what he did when they won a championship with Orlando. He was on the block.
Not just that. This guy, before the Lakers, before he won championships, this guy was in Memphis bringing the team to the playoffs every year. They may have gotten swept, but Pau Gasol was bringing this team to the playoffs consistently every year as an 8th seed in the West. I mean, to me, this guy is just... He's got to come in with a chip on his shoulder and show people, hey, listen, I'm still here, guys. I could still play, and, I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but, obviously just the league now is too good, I think, around them. Back when he was with Memphis, I think there was, a case to be made for the Grizzlies being a solid team, but, Pau Gasol is capable of at least contributing and doing some good things on the floor, and I think... he's definitely going to come out this season and have a much better year. That's for sure.
I don't think that he's the type of player to come in with a chip on his shoulder. I mean, how many times have you heard a coach or somebody rumored to say that he's soft or he's not tough enough?
Yeah.
And how many times you see Kobe screaming at him? I never see Pau Gasol get in somebody's face and scream at them.
Right.
I only see people get in Pau Gasol's face. I don't think he's that type of player. I think he's more blasé type of attitude, and it's like
I think it's more about his game. More than his attitude, I think his game. I think he's just going to play his game this season. I think that's something that's going to happen.
If he plays well, he'll have a better attitude. I think it'll be better. He's going to have to. D'Antoni's going to have to, because that's the only piece he has starting the season.
I mean, you
got to adjust.
Mark, you remember when the Lakers won the championship initially when Gasol came over, when they won with him his first season
on the block.
That's right. He was killing. His confidence was there. Everything was there. That no one questioned anything. The Lakers looked like geniuses making that trade. Yeah. But, it's interesting. But if, and I always do this. I know this is like a little fantasy dreaming a little bit, but, if there's anyone that can play with Pau Gasol, it's his brother. And I know they're going to have cap space. If they could swing a deal to get Marc Gasol in L.A. with Pau, that would be huge. That would be crazy. But again, that's my fantasy. That's me and my fantasy team thinking
you couldn't even swing that in 2K. That's how much of a fantasy that is.
I know. But how sweet would that be if the Gasol brothers unite in L.A.? That'd be awesome. That'd be
the Gasol brothers, Kobe and LeBron. Great. for the squad.
Listen, I know, Mark. I know your beloved LeBron James. All right, he's like the best player in the NBA right now. But there's one other person in the world that thinks Kobe Bryant is better than him. You know who that person is?
Kobe Bryant.
There's two other people. Let me correct that. There's two other people that think that Kobe is better than LeBron, and that's Kobe, like you said, and Stephon Marbury. Recently came out. They met up in China, and Kobe's there now. Actually, he was on his tour, despite his injury, still being there for his fans and doing what he needed to do. And Stephon Marbury and them had a little concert, and he came out in an interview just saying, "Hey, you know what? Kobe's the best all-around player in the game. Look, LeBron can do everything. LeBron, he's a great player. But if you look at Kobe Bryant next to LeBron James, you just put them together. Kobe is the best player in basketball. Stephon Marbury, right there. So, maybe Kobe comes back after a little pep talk from Steph. I don't know. And just dominates, man. Just dominates.
How many games is Stephon Marbury watching, though, in the NBA being out in China?
Yeah, coming on at 5 in the morning.
Listen,
how many games people
already know?
I do know Stephon played against both those guys in the NBA. All right,
We're talking about now. Who's the better player now?
Look,
so how much is Stephon? How knowledgeable is Steph now in today's NBA?
He's knowledgeable enough to maybe say that. So.
Right,
look, he's a legend in China, all right? He's a legend in China now. He's got his own statue, I wish he was back in the NBA. I like Steph. What'd you think of Stephon Marbury, Mark?
Yeah, I like Stephon Marbury at his prime. I like him as a basketball player, not so much as a person.
All right. All right.
Those days in Minnesota, if you look at those pictures.
Yeah, it was nice with Minnesota. Garnett, when they first came,
Yeah.
You look at those pictures; they look like they were. They're two high school kids. They were just like so well behind the end, and they were just they were just going crazy.
And this is the Coney Island kid. Mentioned in the He Got Game movie with Ray Allen as being a legend in New York. When he came back to the Knicks, all right, that to me, I was so pumped. I was so excited. Right, Stephon Marbury, New York guy. Finally coming home, playing for the team he grew up rooting for, grew up watching. All the headlines, Marbury's back in town. The city is buzzed. It looked like a great trade on paper. It killed our cap, but it looked like a great trade on paper. And that first game, I'll never forget, against Houston, we got dominated. I mean, blown out. Like, they lost by like 40 points or something. And all of a sudden, it was all downhill from there. The Knicks were they were nothing. They made the playoffs at the end of that year, and that was it. They were then.
You think that had more hype than Sprewell coming back to the Knicks? Or coming to the Knicks?
Sprewell
was bananas when he came to the Knicks.
Yeah.
That was like the hypest story out.
You know what? I think it was because the Knicks were so bad, and then Marbury comes, and we think that we're going to be rejuvenated, and we weren't. We only sucked for 10 more years. So it didn't really help. I felt like a Met fan, actually. That's really what I felt like. But look, okay. Bottom line is Marbury came out, said Kobe's the best player in the league. It was just cool to hear from Stephon Marbury. Like you said, who's even heard of this guy at this point? He's just in China doing his thing, So, I think it's going to be big for the Lakers this season when Kobe comes back. I think he's going to obviously get a standing ovation. It's going to be crazy, but I don't know. When it comes to the Lakers, it's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs. It is at the end of the day, and I said it at the end of the day. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
I don't think that they will, and I don't think Stephon Marbury knows exactly what's going on in the NBA right now. But you mentioned the Knicks, and I don't want to skip over the show without talking about the Knicks and the Nets rivalry because those two teams
do me a favor. Sound a little more lively when you're talking about it.
Those two teams are about to go. No, because you know why? It's like it's serious time now because these two teams mean business. All right, we're not joking about it. Paul Pierce came out and legit just flat out said, "Look, I hate the Knicks." Boom. and he's like,
Mark likes that. Mark likes that.
Yeah, man. It's good for basketball. It's good for the sport. It's good for the sport, man.
Also, look, people hate the Knicks. That's fine. They're for New York. You got a target on your back just being from New York and being successful in New York, like the Knicks were last year, only makes that target bigger. But then Paul Pierce comes through from Boston to Brooklyn. Look, Brooklyn is on paper a better team.
Yeah.
They may even have the best roster in the league on paper.
Right.
Even better than the Heat, just looking at it.
Right.
I mean, just the talent there. Their bench is crazy. They got guys on their bench that could be starters on any other team. Ray Allen, Andre Kirilenko, Shane Battier. I mean, these guys are coming off the bench, and they're starting from Miami. And the same thing with the Nets. I'm sorry, Kirilenko's on the Nets. But they both teams have it, but I think on paper the Nets have the better team. But Pierce is saying now that Brooklyn take over New York.
Yeah.
And Felton's like, nah, man, we got New York on our chest. All right, you don't run New York. These two teams are going to be at it.
Right.
All right?
Might I add a 15-pound lighter, Raymond Felton. Guy shed 15 pounds this summer.
Right. He's getting
Yeah, he's looking good actually. Like he looks like he's ready to play this season.
You know, these two teams, they're going to be going crazy. Here's my only problem with this.
Okay.
Is that it's artificial. It's fabricated. When the Heat and the Knicks were going at it in the 90s, and Mark, you know this, you had mainstays on those teams for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Pierce and Garnett just got here. I mean, they're not Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They're not Brooklyn. They're not any part. They're not from Brooklyn. You know, they have no part of Brooklyn or New York. And the same thing with New York. Like, okay, so Melo's from New York, right? Like, he was originally born here, right? But it's the same thing. You got a lot of guys that are, you know, just coming over. You got a lot of new guys.
Right.
It's kind of a. I think it's like an NBA trying to push this down people's throats rather than fans being like, "Yo, this is crazy."
Yeah.
Got to. That's the only way they're gonna get people to watch the game.
No, you got Meta from Queens. You got Melo, born in New York. So you do have some guys from New York. But you look over at Brooklyn and you got Darren Williams. How long has Darren Williams been with the Nets for? 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, like
3.
But they've only been in Brooklyn for
3.5. Yeah.
You know, to me, it's just more artificial than real. These guys may talk.
Maybe these dudes will make it real.
It's not the same.
No.
Yeah, maybe these dudes will make it real. Hopefully.
Maybe. I mean,
There's enough hatred there.
I'm just not sold on the Nets yet, guys. I'm just not. I've seen superstar teams get put together like this, big name guys. They look great on paper. I think the Lakers should just shut everybody up from last season about, you know, how good the Nets are going to be. I don't know why. Like, I get the hype. I get it. But at the same time, dude, this team can come out and just be terrible. You know, it just, you don't know. No one thought the Lakers. There were guys halfway through the season, Mark, coming on our show. Okay. Actually, perfect example. Jonathan Bender. He was sold on the Lakers winning the championship. Sold on them winning the championship after they were barely in the playoff picture. He still said that they were going to come through and win the championship. You know, I'm not sold on these type of moves yet. I have to see it. I have to see 10 games into the season. All right, is Joe Johnson going to take a step back and not be the guy? Okay, can these guys play together? Can Darren Williams have a good game when Joe Johnson is on the floor? Can Joe Johnson have a good game when Darren Williams is on the floor? Okay, the only thing right now I am sold on with the Nets is Garnett and Brook Lopez. I love that. Front court. I love it. I think Garnett is exactly what Lopez needs to make him a tougher player. And to me, Brook Lopez, he could be the best center in the league right now. He may be the best center in the league right now. So
Garnett will help him with defense too.
Exactly.
That's how he did Perkins.
Exactly.
Perkins, a defensive player in Boston.
Exactly.
Even though he's not doing much in OKC, but
exactly.
Yeah.
So
and you throw in that Brook Lopez has never been a solid rebounder.
Right.
Kevin Garnett is. I mean, they complement each other so well.
Exactly.
When you go just beyond the starting unit, like I alluded to a little bit earlier, when you go beyond the starting unit, you have such a crazy bench. You look at their bench, and it's like they've got Jason Terry, they've got Andre Kirilenko,
right?
They've got guys that could be starting and are just coming off the bench. So the Nets, to me, on paper, are a better team than the Knicks. But obviously, that's why you play the game, right? You got to see who actually is better. And Jason Kidd is going to be tested. Rookie head coach. Never coached before. There's
a lot of questions.
Exactly, Mark. You said it perfectly. There's a lot of questions. A lot of question marks, and there's a lot of question marks. I like that. See what he did there?
That's cool. Right there. You plugged me today. You plugged me.
That's right. There you go. But no, there's a lot of question marks with this team. I'm just not sold on it yet. You know, I'm not sold on it yet. So give it 10 games into the season. I'll say, all right. Now we got something here. But I'm not sold on it yet.
They are taking the right steps in that. Darren Williams is organized, and it's actually going on this week. It started Sunday, and it's supposed to go through Friday. Darren Williams scheduled player-only workouts in California. And we know that Garnett has a place out there. Darren has a place out there, so it's kind of convenient. 10 out of the 15 players on the team are going to attend, and it's players only, organized by Darren Williams. These guys are going to be able to bond. They're going to be able to get together. That's huge. When you have a guy stepping up on the team, he doesn't get paid to do that. What? Darren Williams gets paid, show up and play. He doesn't get paid to schedule summer workouts.
Right.
So you gotta if you're a Net fan, you gotta love that.
Mark, let me ask something. Let me ask something about these camps. Have you ever been to a players-only camp before, like where a guy on your team organizes it? Like, say, did Zoe ever organize a camp?
Not a player on my team, but a friend of mine. We used to do that with Eddie Jones when he played with the Lakers. Before I got to the league, he would invite all us Temple guys out, and we would play up at UCLA with Magic and those guys. It was cool. Then at night, we go get something to eat. Maybe the weekend do little shooting in the morning, then maybe a little going out at night. Then Monday we start back over again. It's cool. It's a bonding process, getting to know the player, what the likes and dislikes are. It's good for the team.
I mean, what's the process though? Like, do you get a letter in the mail, or do they call you and like, hey, I'm doing this camp? Like, is it like a nice invitation? Like, how does this go down?
Usually somebody call you and be like, hey, man, we're going to put together a workout. We're trying to get as many guys as we can. You have to confirm, because they're saving the spot for other people.
Right.
Probably Darren Williams just probably put out a call to everybody on his team and then say whoever can make it. 10 out of 15 is not bad. That's pretty good.
Right.
For a workout for a week. So that's usually how it happens. And then, you show up, get a hotel room. Some guys will let you stay at their place. Eddie had maybe like 4 of us staying at his place in L.A. He had it like that. So we stayed there. We kind of bonded. A couple of rental cars. We go to work.
Nice.
To work.
You said Magic was a part. Did you play with Magic?
Magic used to be up at UCLA. All those guys used to play at UCLA back in the day. And LA. That was a place where you could get competition. It was LA back then, and Houston was pretty tough. You can go down to Houston. They'd be playing down there. But in LA, Magic would be up there. Guys like that would still be playing. So it was cool. Chris Mills, all the LA guys.
I think also the curiosity I had was recently the Pacers actually reported that Roy Hibbert has been working out in San Antonio with Tim Duncan and a bunch of other guys.
Nice.
And this is like a
nice.
Yeah, no, that is nice. Yeah, that is nice. But I guess what I was curious about was they didn't disclose the names, but there's a lot of guys around the league working out together, and then these guys go into the season playing against each other. But doesn't that kind of give each other an advantage? Doesn't that kind of prepare them for who they're going to play when they're all practicing the same moves and doing the same things on each other? Like, maybe Tim Duncan's bringing Hibbert in. Now Tim Duncan knows everything Hibbert's going to do on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, you got all these different big guys playing in the same place, playing together. They're not on the same team. They're not teammates. They're friends, obviously, but, I mean, didn't that affect something? Anything?
No, just work. Just working out. That's it, yeah.
All right.
I don't think so, because if you think about it, then, you practice with guys and then they get traded. It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like coming to Miami and playing pickup at UM. Like Joe Johnson was there this weekend. Kyrie Irving was there 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
They're just trying to find good runs. Just trying to play.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
cool. You got to tell them to come over. If they want good runs, I'll give them all the work they can get. I can ball out.
Yeah.
I'll let them know. I think he's still in town. I might see them. They play on the weekends at around 12 o'clock.
Kyle, this is real basketball, Kyle. This isn't the stuff you dream about. This is real.
No.
This is real.
No. Yo, I was on standby for He Hate Me. If Ray Allen couldn't be in the movie, I was next in line.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Shuttlesworth couldn't be there.
Yeah.
I was the Coney Island product.
Yeah, it wasn't Jesus Shuttlesworth. It was going to be Kyle. That's what it was. Right.
Saying. I was the one coming out of CI if it wasn't going to be him.
Yeah, and then you woke up.
Just saying.
Yeah.
They want good runs? Get that work over here.
Yeah. The only runs they'll be doing is, over your bed when you're sleeping. That's it. Just up and down. That's it.
Don't be a hater now.
That's
it.
Right?
Don't be a hater.
I'm being real. I'm not being a hater.
Birds back there. You got Bird. You got Kobe Bryant.
See that? This is my culture. This is what I rock with right here.
Oh my! Wait. I don't know why this just popped into my head. I guess thinking of the Larry Bird commercials and stuff. But did you guys see that Steph Curry James Harden commercial?
Didn't see it.
You didn't see the James? Oh my, Mark! You have to watch this commercial. Maybe the best commercial.
On the radio this morning. I didn't see it. Though.
Oh man, they're like, Kyle. You know how the commercial goes?
Yeah. So Steph Curry, James Harden's in the studio, a recording studio for music, and Steph Curry walks in, and it's for Foot Locker. So he's like, "Yo, you got all this fresh gear," and he's like, "Yeah, but I'm in here to sell my fresh gear, And he starts singing, and he's like, "All right." Steph Curry's like, "All right, James, let me hear what you got. Let me hear what you recorded." So they play the beat, and it's like a slow R&B beat, and then you hear James Harden's voice, and it's the worst singing voice ever. And the line goes, "I rip my shirt open so they see my chest." And it's like the worst voice ever. James Harden's like, "Is that me?" And then it goes to, I don't do it any justice. The commercial is dope. But James Harden, Blake Griffin, they make great commercials all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are going to be, they should be actors. They should be doubling as actors.
Yeah. No, definitely. I get a kick out of all the NBA commercials, especially the ones with the bus, where all these guys are on the ESPN bus, and I think
with Van Gundy.
There was one with Boozer, Gallo, and John Barry, and they got tacos, and they didn't have hot sauce, and Boozer's like, "Oh no, man, I need my hot sauce," and he jumps out of the moving bus, and then Gallo's like, "Yeah, we like our hot sauce in Italy too." So, and it's just, those are good commercials. We got to make a commercial for Talkin Hoops. We got to get on this. We got to get creative. We got to get creative here. Got to get real creative. We'll have Mark.
I'll put up a Vine video.
Mark, I'm thinking of a skydiving scene with you. All right, jumping out of a plane, doing something.
I do
crazy.
that with Gucci's on.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of that. I like the idea of that.
Jordan's in a Jordan jersey.
Yeah.
Versace.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, someone that's not jumping out of planes right now because he finally landed in a good spot, and that's Dwight Howard. He's finally happy. He's in Houston, okay? Houston making more moves, coming to terms with Ronnie Brewer, but getting back to Dwight, this guy may be playing power forward this season. So I want to know, Mark, I really want to know your thoughts on this because...
I like that.
Well, see, I don't know if I liked it. It didn't really work that well with him and Pau Gasol. Not that a Asik is Pau Gasol, but... I don't know, playing Asik and Dwight Howard next to each other.
Which had Dwight at the 5.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? He at the 4 now, so it's different. So he don't have to do all that banging. He can kind of just play his game. But I'm still curious to see how two bigs are going to fare against a team like the Heat. Can he guard a Carmelo Anthony at the 4? Can he guard a LeBron at the 4? You know what I mean? That's going to be the... Plus it also takes him away from shot blocking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's going to be, what they're going to do is try to pull him out in pick and rolls, pull him out, and that's what they're going to do, keep him away from the basket. So that may be a liability for them defensively. Now, offensively, I can see how it works, but defensively, you're trying to keep Dwight Howard near the basket. That's what he does best, rebound and block shots.
Now, I know that they want to experiment with this and see how it works, okay? I get that. I get that they want to experiment with Asik and Dwight. But I don't know. I look at it if I'm the Rockets, I would look to trade Asik right now and get some more pieces that could be useful, especially some extra guys on the bench, maybe a solid big off the bench to back up Dwight. But, this guy's value is good right now. Don't ruin it, number one. And number two, it's same thing with Gortat. What happened with Gortat in Orlando? He took a backseat to Dwight. These guys got overshadowed. And look, Asik had a good year last year. He really had a solid year. He's definitely up and coming. And I don't know, I think he obviously wasn't happy when Dwight came. He felt like the organization had no faith in him. And if this experiment with them starting together or being on the floor together doesn't work, I don't see Asik being happy. And I see a trade coming, but I just feel like the value for him now is good. Trade him now. Get the pieces.
That pairing of Asik and Howard is the lamest excuse of trying to make something work. You cannot tell. So you're telling me that you went after Dwight Howard and you made this huge pitch to take him out of his natural position.
Right.
to put him at power forward.
Right.
How the hell Melo plays power forward when the Rockets play the Knicks? Howard's going to guard Melo? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what I'm going to see? I'm going to see Dwight Howard playing Carmelo Anthony? But I don't understand how he's going to guard any power forward in the league. Mark said it. You're going to take away his shot blocking. Shot blocking and rebounding is what Dwight Howard's staple is. Not as off. If you think of Dwight Howard, I don't think of offense right away. I think of his defense and his shot blocking ability and his rebounding. Right. Okay? You completely take that away to put a Zeke under the basket. Then you put him on guys who are going to be faster and more skilled. And then Dwight Howard doesn't have a power forward game. You're going to have Dwight Howard and Omer Zeke standing in the paint next to each other. They're going to have a 6-second violation for 3 seconds each. These guys aren't going to be able to be anywhere else because they can't shoot. They got no post moves. If Dwight Howard playing alongside Pau Gasol couldn't work in LA, what the hell makes you think pairing him with Omar Zeke in Houston is going to do?
Mark, in case you didn't realize, Kyle doesn't like the idea.
I don't know what you're thinking.
He don't like it. Yeah, he don't like it. Yeah, but center is his natural position, though. Yeah, center is. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll surprise you, Kyle.
I think it's going to be a quick adjustment. I think they're going to try it like for 10 minutes, and they're going to be like, nope. Dwight Howard's at center. They're going to go through.
Come in there and run him out the gym.
This is what's bothering me. They're going to go through a whole training camp with him playing the power forward. They're going to ruin their entire training camp with Howard playing the power forward. They're going to see it doesn't work, and what a waste that was. What a waste of time. When you could have just
out there and put all this money in and all this time and effort to get this guy, and then you're going to take him out of his natural position?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Makes no sense.
Nah.
Come on.
Today's NBA.
Yeah. That's the NBA. Look. They did a great job assembling a team.
Yeah.
They're doing a piss poor job of managing it right now.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It. Yeah. That's it. All right, we're going to start to wrap up the show here. A little music going. It's been a great show. This was a great show. Anthony Goldwire, the man. Definitely have him on back in the future. He was excited. He had a good time. He was excited. I love this guy. He was a lot of fun. Yeah. Strickland, knowing everybody, man. You're the man. Yeah. I'm telling you, a lot of big stuff going on with Talkin Hoopz. But another great show. Just a lot of great stuff happening in the NBA. I'm pumped for the season. I'm really excited. It's gonna be awesome. But until next time, for AJ, for Kyle, for Mark Strickland, former NBA player, we'll catch you guys on the rebound.
Until Talkin Hoopz comes back into play, stay connected by getting at us on iTunes. Keep up to date with all the latest basketball news and rumors and check out all our shows by logging on to talkinhoopz.com.
Catch you on the rebound.